Hey everyone, this is Grace of gbmaltese, and I hope you are doing finer than frog's hair. Almost forgot to turn the air off. Remembered at the last minute. I thought I'd do a whip and chat with you today. I am working on a Craftibly diamond painting that they no longer carry, but I've had it, I guess, I don't know, a couple of years, and I decided it's time for me to work on this one. I love it. Okay, as you can see, it is a square. It's a 32 inch by 24 inch, which is a 60 by 80. Isn't it gorgeous? It's got the waterfall back here and a little cottage, and people on the bridge. Beautiful landscape. So, do any of you out there own this one? Or have you done this one? I have already started on it. I'll show you what I have accomplished so far. Let me move things around. I'll pull it over. I have done this part here. Isn't it beautiful? You can see the edge here. And we've got flowers all up in here and rocks. And we're heading into the water part here. So it's very lovely. And as you can see, it's got lots of pretty shine. I'm really enjoying working on it. The squares fit very nicely together. As you can see, just a tiny bit of a space. But if you don't have a little bit of a space on some of these, they're going to pop up. And that's no good. Because then you got to try to anchor them down with sealant or something. I've got this part started a little bit, and I'm going to keep working on that color, which is 798. And you can see the waterfall. I've got this other part I've got covered with my silicone release papers. I have a link to the ones that I use. They're large ones because I like to do large areas at a time. And as you can see, the ball goes up and up and up. And you can see all the way up to there. And then this is my Elizabeth Ward tray holding all my drills. And then I have some Craftmate trays because this has 51 drills in it. So I had to use more than just my Elizabeth Ward tray. It has 3 ABs, and look how many ABs there are. These two here are white ABs. It filled 2 of these up. You can see the shine there. And then I have just a small amount of these little kind of lavender ones. And then I have quite a few blue ABs. So I think it's going to come out really, really pretty. So far, I think it's looking beautiful. Just gorgeous. I'm enjoying working on this quite a bit. Okay, let me get situated here and get started. I think I already told you it's a square. I think you saw it on the little sheet I showed you. I am diamond painting different than I used to. At one time I used to just do large areas. Now I just have decided to put papers down, and I don't cover it back up with the sheets because I'm holding it down with my Elizabeth Ward tray, which is this. Love these things. These are my favorites. And I also use the Craftmates. These come in like a little binder. Let me show you. It looks like this. And they open up. And what I do is I just take them out as needed and use them for different diamond paintings I'm doing. So, I have 3. Hold on just a minute. I just stepped on my light. There. Got my foot right on there and just unplugged my light. Okay. So that you can see a little better. And I've got 3 of these filled with drills, as you can see. So that's how I have been doing them, my diamond paintings lately. I don't like doing real tiny areas, especially when there's a lot of confetti like this, because I have to change out too many times. I don't like doing that. So with it open like this, I get to get quite a few down. And I'm going to get started with this. And I have things to tell you. Tell me what you think about my diamond painting. Have you done a craftable? If not, they really are nice. And they don't have as many. They're kind of changing up what they used to do, where they would get a whole bunch of pre-orders, because it came back to sometimes be a nightmare, because the manufacturing companies, you know, they don't really care that much when you get your shipment in. And so it gives the companies a bad note, because it's not their fault that the items don't get there when they say they are. They can only go by the manufacturers, and when they ship, and you know, there's been lots of things going on in China. And for people who think that your diamond paintings don't come from China, they do. Doesn't matter what company you buy from. There are no manufacturing companies in the United States that are making these drills. Now, some people do print out a canvas. They get a special printer and they can print out the canvas, but they do not have access to the drills. Those are purchased from China. So don't let anyone say American made. No. You look anywhere and look for diamond painting drills. They all come from China. I don't care if it's an American company that are selling the drills. They got them from China first, and then they're selling them to you. So that is just the truth of the fact. And I, you know, had people say, well, this company said they're coming from America. No, 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 no. Things are coming from China, because they're the ones who manufacture them. They're the ones who started out with it. So, unless you want to make a huge manufacturing company somewhere in the United States that is making these drills and doing everything from start to finish, then that's where it's coming from. That's no big deal. You know, we trade all sorts of things with other countries. So they're the ones who are manufacturing them, and we get these lovely diamond paintings, and I am happy. So, just wanted to say that, because I have had people in the past just almost argue with you about it. So, if someone's telling you something different, it's not the truth. Okay. I've got to talk about the last couple of weeks. It's one of the reasons that, you know, I keep saying I want to try to make more videos and blah, blah, blah. It seems like I take one step forward and 15 backwards. When I made my last video, I was showing my beautiful spring fairy. I did it, I think, a week ago. I did the video. And I didn't get a chance to talk about what all has been going on. My husband had a hernia. We went to the doctor, and it was a hernia, and he had arranged to have his surgery on August the 15th, which would have been during this week. But they called back, I think the very next day, and said, can we do it August 1st? And I'm going, oh, goody. So we decided, yeah, let's go ahead, you know, get it over with. My husband won't be sitting there worrying about it. I mean, he's sitting there going, I wonder, you know, that maybe they got it wrong. Maybe that's not what it really is. Well, if it looks like it, you know, and the doctor says that's what it is, it's probably what it is. So he didn't have to sit and worry for, you know, a few weeks over it and me having to listen to that. So we got that done on August the 1st, which was a Tuesday. They actually were going to do his surgery at noon, and they were going to do his pre-authorization for the surgery that morning. So we were there. We had to be there by 9. We were there by 8. And it's a good thing we were, because the doctor's office is connected to the hospital. And they had told us where we needed to go for his pre-op. Well, we went to where he said, and they said, no, this is the wrong place. We went back into the doctor's office, and they told us, no, it's, you know, those double doors over there. We go back, and they say, no. I'm like, okay, well, what are we going to do now? But, you know, somebody's wrong. And it was the doctor's office that was wrong, of course. And they finally explained to us we had to walk a long ways to finally find it. And they took Jerry back, and they did blood work, EKG, and I don't know what else. So then they took him into, I call it the holding room, where they have the beds, and you know, you have your curtain around you. So you're kind of in a room, but it just has a curtain instead of a door. And we were sitting, well, he was laying in the bed, and I was sitting next to him. We were talking, and of course he'd gotten his IV put in. He was in his cute little hospital gown. And this was about 10:30, I guess. And then about 10:40, they said, okay, we're going to go ahead and take him back to whichever room they take him to for pre-op. And I'm thinking, oh, well, maybe they're going to get started early. So I go back out to the waiting room. And I decide, you know, about 11 o'clock, I'm going to go get something to eat for lunch, so that I will be out of there before he would get anything from surgery. And they gave me this little thing to hold, that it beeps, red lights come on and it beeps if they need you back up there in the waiting room. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to hurry up, go down there, and because they have this big board, an electronic board, and on that board they have the doctor's name, they have the initials of the patient, and then they tell where they're at. Well, Jerry was still in the pre-op area, so I'm like, okay, they hadn't even started. It's not really supposed to start till 12. I don't know why they took him back there so early, but they did. I guess they don't want to keep the doctor waiting, or maybe, I don't know. So, like I said, I was going to go get something to eat, and the cafeteria opened at 11, and I thought, well, I'll go down there right when it opens so I can get something, eat it, and get back up there. Be ready when he's having his surgery. Okay, I get down to the cafeteria, and they don't have a real big choice of things. I found a sandwich that was, it was like a veggie sandwich, and I thought, I'll just eat that. And then it got me a piece of chocolate cake for dessert. Isn't that awful? I couldn't help it. When I'm stressed, honey, I will, you know, sweets are my comfort food. So, I ate my little veggie sandwiches rolled up in a tortilla. I couldn't eat all that tortilla. Sometimes they just put too much. So I ate that, and I'm thinking, you know, I ate really healthy. Now I'm going to enjoy my piece of chocolate cake. Well, even before all this started, those were the things I picked out, okay? I check out, pay for my stuff, and as I'm in the checkout line, my little beeper goes off. I'm like, oh my God, something has happened. And I got through the line, and and I hurried back upstairs. I had a long hallway to go down and then go up elevators and go another long hallway and got back in there. And I said, my beeper went off. And she said, oh, you must have heard someone else. And she said, I didn't beep you. Well, that's a lie, because I had it in my hand and I could see the red lights going off. What probably happened is she accidentally beeped me and meant someone else. So yeah, after, you know, my heart finally calms down, because, you know, we're people. We always think the worst thing is going to happen. And I thought, oh my God, they got him in surgery and something bad happened. But he wasn't even in surgery. He still wasn't in surgery. It was, you know, maybe 10 minutes after 11 at this point. And I said, can I just eat my food up here? She said, oh yeah, you can eat it in the waiting room. I'm like, okay, great. So I sat there, ate my food. They had a little coffee table type thing, and I set my stuff down and was eating, and no more beeps or anything. And when 12 o'clock came around, I went and looked on that board, and it showed that Jerry was still in pre-op. I'm like, what is going on? I guess they're running late. Okay, I look at 12:15. He's still in pre-op. I look at 12:30. He's still in pre-op. I go to the receptionist at the desk and I said, my husband's surgery was supposed to start at 12. I said, are those boards, you know, kept up to date out there? Because it shows he still hadn't started. She said, yes, they are. And she looked on her computer and she said, they just started. And I went back to the board and it showed at 12:32 they started his surgery. I'm like, okay. And the surgery was supposed to last anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour. Longer if they found another hernia, which, by the way, they did not. Just the one. So he was in there. I looked about 1:30, and he was taken to this. I looked a couple different times, and they were still in surgery. One time I looked, and it was they were finishing the procedure. And then the next time I looked, it was about 1:30, he was taken to recovery. So that was, like I said, around 1:30. And I knew he was going to be in recovery for a while. So about 2:30, the receptionist calls me over, and she said, go answer the phone over there. They want to talk to you. And so I go over there, and they said, everything's fine. He's in recovery right now, but you'll probably be able to see him about 15-20 minutes. Okay. 3 o'clock rolls around. I still hadn't heard anything. And there's another lady that she and I got to talk, and I got to kind of know her whole history. You know how that goes. But it was nice to, you know, have company, just talking. She and I were told that her son was in surgery for his heart, and his surgery wasn't supposed to last but 2 hours. It ended up lasting 4 hours, and she was really scared. But she talked to them. She didn't wait the whole 4 hours. She talked to them. She said, you know, is there something wrong? She said they said it would be a 2-hour surgery. She told me he'd had heart problems since he was 9 months old. And so I'm like, oh my gosh. But they said no, they had to do a little more than what they had planned. And everything was going fine. I still have heard nothing about Jerry. So both of us were wondering what's going on, because they told her she'd be seeing her son before long. Nothing. Then we finally ask, and they tell us, oh, they got backed up in that last room they go to. It has a name, but do you think I can remember it offhand? Heck no. But he's still in the recovery room, okay? And they said, we don't know how long he'll be there. Because the other rooms are full and we can't put him in there till we have a bed available. Alright, so at 4 o'clock, the receptionist, it's her time to go home. She's done for the day. And she said, they'll come out and get you when it's time, or actually she told us, they will call you on your cell phone. So just make sure you have your cell phone, ready where they can call you. So, of course we did. Well, we didn't get a call, didn't get a call. Finally, around 4:30, the nurse comes out and they tell us, the 2 nurses came out and said, oh, okay, you can go and see, they just, told us, I don't remember exact wording. So we went back there, and poor Jerry, he's absolutely in kind of a panic, because the doctor had already told us before this ever took place that they will not let him leave the hospital until he's able to pee. Okay? And he said some people are sent home with a catheter. So Jerry, he has been walking the halls. I mean, yeah, he's up walking now. He is so determined that he's going to pee so he can go home. He's ready to go home. Well, he drinks. They give him water. We give him ice chips. They give him orange juice. They give him a little small Pepsi. He's drunk all this, and he keeps going to the bathroom, and he's in there trying. He still can't go. So now we're getting close to 7:30. Still, we are getting really concerned, okay? That surgery over at 1:30, and it's been 6 hours and he still hasn't peed. One of the nurses went and got this, it's kind of like a little sonogram, and to look at his bladder. His bladder is completely full. And they kept telling us, now the bladder and the kidneys are the last things to wake up. Wake up, darn you. I feel like beating on it or something. I could just see the frustration and the panic in Jerry's eyes. He is wanting to go so badly. I mean, he'll go in there, and I've told him, run warm water over your hands, run the water, just try to relax. He is doing everything he can do. Okay, so finally, I guess about 8 o'clock, they've called the doctor, and he said he's going to have a catheter. not the news you really want to hear. So, I guess that was, did I say 8? I guess that was probably around 8, somewhere around there, because the nurse got a catheter, and she said, I'm going to get the other nurse in case, I need help. Evidently, she hasn't been a nurse for that long of a time and hadn't really done many catheters, because the other nurse is the head nurse. But she didn't go in the room. She sat outside the curtain, and I left the room. I just am like, I cannot watch them hurt him. He wasn't asleep. He got nothing, no numbing, anything. Yeah, he was wide awake, feeling everything. And I just couldn't stay in there and watch that. So, I leave, and I'm just sitting outside the curtain. So if he called, I'd be right there. And this poor nurse, she's trying to get the catheter in, okay? She gets it pushed in, and Jerry said that she was saying, because we couldn't hear her, she was saying, oh my gosh, it's not wanting to go in. Jerry said blood was coming back up, out, in the tube. And she said, it's coiling up on me. I'm so glad I wasn't hearing this. I would have get it out of him, get him out. She finally came out the curtain and asked the other nurse's help. Well, they took that one out. And the other nurse said, this is actually the best one to put in. It's got a little bit of a stiffer tip to put in, but it's still pliable. She said, and it's not as thick. They Putting a big one in there. That's a good idea to put in a man. Anyway, the head nurse did it. The first nurse he did, I didn't hear a sound come out behind them curtains from Jerry. This time I could kind of hear like, you know, he was hurting. Because, you know, trying to put that first one in, I don't know if it rubbed him raw. I don't know what happened. But yeah, he said it was painful. But he didn't holler out. He didn't do anything. Now let me tell you. If I was in there, the one putting it in as his wife, I would have heard all kinds of verbal abuse. How many of you wives have to agree with that? Oh my gosh. Because, you know, the ones you love, you can say whatever you want to them and they're still going to love you. But once they got it in and they opened it up, Jerry was standing at this point. It was emptying his bladder out, and he was going, oh my gosh, what a relief. He said, y'all are such angels. It's like a totally different reaction at this point. He was so happy to be getting that bladder empty. There was no way he was going to get it out. So we're ready to leave close to 8:30. I get instructions on what to do with the catheter, because yeah, he's going home with it. And I'm of course driving back. I don't see well at night when I'm driving. I don't see well at all. Yeah, so I had to drive back, and there was quite a bit of traffic, you know. We had to go down this road where there was quite a bit of traffic, and part of it was 2-lane. So there are people that have those LED lights, and they will completely blind you as you're coming to him. And when I see any lights, car lights at night, they look like this big around. You know, it's big. You know, they're like this, but I can see this halo around them. And it's blinding me. So Jerry keeps telling me, stay close to the white line, the white line. The white line's to the right. He's trying to make sure that, you know, I don't hit anyone. So here I am hearing this. Watch out for the car. Stay close to the white line. Keep your eye on the white line. The white line. I'm like, oh my God. Let me out of here. It's like, it's something out of a comedy. So it's an hour drive to get back home. By the time I get home, I feel my eyes hurt so bad. I feel awful. But we made it home about 9:30, I guess, maybe a little after. And so when we get in the house, got Jerry to get in the house. He gets in, no problem. When he goes to sit down, you know, that hurts. And I had bought him some really large pants to wear after the surgery. I told him, I said, honey, you're not going to be putting them jeans on when we leave here. Because he wears a slim. He's not big at all. He's very slender. So I bought him these large, kind of like jogging pants. They weren't sweatpants. They were cotton. So we put those on, but he was ready to get that off, his underwear, everything off. And so he said, I don't know what to wear. I said, do you want to wear one of my nightgowns? And he agreed. Look, okay. So I put the nightgown on him, and my nightgowns become his attire for a few days. He thought they were wonderful. I mean, he didn't have to wear underwear or nothing, and he's got that stupid catheter in there. That just makes it hard to do anything. But anyway, I have 3 hungry dogs ready to eat as soon as we get home. They're so excited to see us, and I'm trying to make sure they're not bumping into Jerry's catheter, that tube. Oh, Jerry rigged my gown up so that he got zip ties. He got 2 different ones. And he got the bottom of the gown and kind of balled it up. He put one zip tie to hold it together, you know, to make like squeeze. It was balled up down here. And he put another zip tie through somehow to make a loop. He hung his catheter off of that thing, but then we had to hang that loop, that, you know, the tube that hangs off of it, or it's almost dragging the ground. And we didn't want the dogs going over there trying to sniff at things and when he's trying to walk around. So it was a real treat, the things we went through. So that was on a Tuesday. Wednesday he was in quite a bit of pain. At night, oh my gosh, you would think that he was hurting. And the thing is, he wouldn't take any pain medicine because he was afraid he would get constipated. I said, Jerry, at least take a Tylenol. No, I don't want to get constipated. You know I hate being constipated. Oh my God. I said, but you're in pain. He finally took a Tylenol that morning around 4 o'clock. One Tylenol, I'll tell you, one. But he said it helped. And he was able to sleep some. And he was pretty tired. So he slept. But then the next night, it was horrible. He was in pain, walking back and forth in the house. Just pacing. I said, Jerry, take something for the pain. I just can't. You know how I hate to be constipated? I hear that all the time. So he's walking back and forth, and then he starts in saying, I think they may have sewn my guts shut. Because he hadn't pooped yet. I said, Jerry, I really don't think that they've done that. And, he was coming up with all kinds. I think maybe they did the wrong thing. I think they did the wrong surgery. I don't think that what they did was the right thing. I'm like, Jerry, they did the right thing. You're going to be okay. You're in pain. That's normal. They filled you with gas, and that's going to cause pain too until that gas works its way out. Because they did it laparoscopically. And so they filled him with gas. And I told him, I said, that's going to hurt. And they told him, until you get the gas out, you're going to have pains. You're going to have all kinds of pains, different places. Then he told me his chest was hurting, and he thought I needed to take him to the emergency room because he thought he was having a heart attack. He wasn't. It went away. It was gas. I've been telling him over and over. Finally, I'm gonna think this is crazy. I just started praying out loud. I'm like, dear Lord, please help me. Please be with Jerry. Please help ease Jerry's mind and let him know he's gonna be okay. And the next thing I know, Jerry's coming back in there and he's laughing. Like, why are you laughing? I'm just like, I couldn't understand why he was laughing. And I don't know why he started laughing. I don't know if it just all of a sudden hit him. That, or maybe the gas went through. I don't know. But he started laughing, and he was laughing about it. I guess about how he'd been acting. It was crazy. But yeah, he just started laughing, and then we were both laughing. It was just like, I was just so thankful because I'm telling you, I was like, okay, one of us is going to go to, put away somewhere. But that got over. He did the same a little bit the next night. I think at night, I told him, I said, at night it's going to hurt worse, especially when you're not taking pain meds. Okay, well, let's get into the thing he was so worried about, being constipated. Yeah, not taking he might as well have taken the pain meds because he got constipated anyway. I started him on stool softeners the night before the surgery. thinking, okay, we're going to get ahead of the game. It's going to be all nice, easy peasy. So we did that, and you know, a couple of days, he still hadn't done anything in a couple of days. So he decides, maybe the second, maybe the third day, he decides he's going to get some X-Lax. So he takes some X-Lax, and we're thinking, okay, this is going to be it. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. Nothing happened. Nothing happened. But he wasn't eating much either. He just didn't want to eat. And I said, Jerry, you got to eat. And you got to drink plenty of fluids. I mean, I'm telling him all this. I bought him all kinds of fiber-filled foods. And, you know, he would eat some, and he'd eat prunes. I mean, we're trying everything. Then he got some milk of magnesia. Took that. And that didn't work either. Okay, so now we are to... on Friday morning, he went and had the catheter taken out. They did take it out Friday morning. So he had it from Tuesday night till Friday morning. And he was happy to get it out. And everything was working just fine. Except for pooping. And he didn't mention anything about it to them when he was there. Actually, yeah, it was Friday morning. So, that was taken care of. And it was after that that he had tried the milk of magnesia. Saturday comes around. Still nothing, okay? It could have been... I don't remember exactly what day. But anyway, I think it was... I guess it was Saturday. Jerry called the doctor's office. And luckily someone answered. And he told them about his problem. He said, he's constipated. And she said, well, it's from the pain medicine. Jerry said, I'm not taking any of it. Yeah, a lot of good that did you too, huh? That's all I could think about. You didn't have to suffer. But the nurse said, well, take some milk of magnesia. He said, I've already done that. So she said, okay, get some magnesium citrate or citrate, whatever it's called. She said, you will go. Okay, CVS had a bottle of that. It's an 8-ounce bottle, and you drink the whole thing. And you drink it with a glass of water. So he's sitting there drinking that stuff. He's going, oh. I'm like, tastes good. Well, he got it all down. An hour ago. It said 30 minutes to 6 hours you should have some action. Well, 30 minutes go by. Nothing. An hour goes by. Nothing. 2 hours. Nothing. 4 hours. Nothing. 5 hours. We finally get a little action. He did just a little bit, but he was so happy that something came out. He was beginning to think he was clogged up and couldn't go. Then he started getting a lot more action, and yeah, he started feeling so much better than after that. He was just pleased as punch. He was so happy. And the doctor had told him he would see him in 2 weeks. It was going to be on a Monday. And he wasn't supposed to lift anything over 10 pounds during that time. Well, he's a man, right? Yes. I had been feeding his birds and watering them and doing everything to keep him from going out there and hurting himself. Well, he decides, you know, he can, he goes out there, and we have raccoons, and one of them knocked the top of one of the bird baths over. And, you know, it's a concrete piece, but it was one of the smaller ones. He told me he picked it up and put it back on there. I said, I ought to just whip you. He said, I'm fine. I don't, you know, nothing. I said, you're going to pull them stitches out and they have to go back in there. I mean, I was just, Anyway, he and my brother went to the grocery store together because he wanted to get some bird seed and some, you know, things of water, and he was going to get my brother to carry them. Alright, so the bird seed is a 40-pound bag. Well, Greg picks that up and puts it in there. Guess who carries that heavy-ass water? Yeah, it's, you know, 40, it's one of those with 40 in the package. Yeah, Jerry carried it. Yeah, 2 of them. Not at the same time, because, I mean, he's done that when he's well, but he didn't this time, but I'm like, what are you thinking? So, he stays home till that next Tuesday, and he's feeling so much better. I mean, he's doing so much better, feeling good. So guess what he does on Wednesday? He goes to work. The doctor had told him he wants to see him before he goes back to work, but does that stop him? Oh no. He just goes and he stays till 3:30, I guess. Normally he stays till 5. Yeah, so he was there almost the whole time. He said there's going to be so much paperwork. And Jerry's a service manager at a car dealership. And a lot of times the mechanics need him to go help pick up heavy things. I said, do not go do it. And I guess he didn't because he didn't complain about anything. But yeah, he went back to work. On Thursday, he came back about 4 o'clock, I guess, again. And then on Friday, he was back at 5:30, his normal time. I'm like, oh my God. Well, he went back this past Monday for his final checkup, and they said everything looked good. So, thank the Lord that's over with. How many of you have been through surgery with your significant other? And what was it like? I'm going to tell you, most of the time he really was pretty good. I have to admit. I was proud of him, and I told him, I said, I'm so proud of you. Except for the times he'd go and pick something up he wasn't supposed to, or he'd be telling me, I think that they may have sewed my gut shut. It was all I could do. I'm like, Jerry, they didn't sew your gut shut. Lord have mercy. Well, I've been talking about this for way too long, but anyway, that's how things have been going. And now, and I had 2 sick dogs Monday, and one of my dogs, Oliver, he's a mixed breed. He had tooth problems, and we've taken him to the vet. I'm not sure if I've told you about this one or not. And the first time we took him, they gave him something. It didn't do any good. And we told him it was his teeth, but he gave him something else. Jerry takes him again, and he gives him the kind of medicine you're supposed to give them for tooth pain, clindamycin. Okay, so he was on that for 2 weeks or more. Jerry had his surgery. We weren't able to take him to get his teeth cleaned. The vet didn't set up an appointment to get his teeth cleaned, nothing. He just sent us on our merry way. And yeah, Jerry had surgery when we weren't expecting it, so it has not been even, I guess, maybe a week and a half since he took his last antibiotic, okay? And this week I was going to be able to hopefully get him to the vet. Jerry's cleared. Everything's good. He's taken all of his meds, okay? Well, starting Tuesday or Monday, he started doing that smacking of his lips, and you could tell he was in pain. They eat this soft food, and you could tell he was starting to hurt, and I'm like, oh my Lord. So I call and make an appointment with a different vet. I want another one to look at him, and I want to get this thing taken care of. Well, he looked at him. He said, yeah, it's his teeth. The other one, he wouldn't believe us. And I mean, we've paid over $600 now, and nothing is fixed. So anyway, that was day before yesterday that I took him. Or was it yesterday? Oh, I guess it was yesterday I took him. Gosh, the days are running together. And he looks a tiny bit better today. But anyway, the vet said, we're doing his dental either Wednesday or Thursday of next week. I mean, he's take charge. I used to use him all the time, but this other vet was closer, so I started using him. And I've been using him for several years, no problem, but I don't know what's changed. So he goes next Wednesday. I take him in between 7:30 and 10, and I can pick him up that afternoon between 5 and 6. And I hope and pray my baby's going to get some relief. His gums, because Jerry went with him when he took him the last couple of times, and they gave him a shot to put him under so they could look at his teeth. Jerry said it was all bloody. He said it was the most horrible looking stuff he'd ever seen, and he told him, he said, can't you do something right now? You know, get that bad tooth out? No, I've got 2 more surgeries I need to take care of, and blah blah. Anyway, Jerry was fit to be tied. But we started him on 3 kinds of medication, and he started feeling better in just, 3 or 4 days. And we thought, oh, good. And now we'll get his teeth done. Well, in between, we have surgery. So, but he's going to get it done next Wednesday. So, I'm going to hope and pray he does good. But that's my sweet boy. Now, I got one of my boys fixed, Jerry. I hope that stays fixed. He said he's feeling so much better than before he had the surgery done. So, yeah. He sees he needed it. Yeah, he was suffering before. So, I'll let you go. Tell me what you're up to. And you know what? If you've watched me all the way through this, good for you. Thank you so much for watching. And if you have watched me all the way through, would you let's put a code word down there like surgery, because that's what I talked about most of the time. So if you write surgery somewhere in your comment or whatever, I'd appreciate that. Then I know, hey, they watched it all. And I hope to see you again very, very soon. I love you guys. You take care. God bless you. Take care of yourselves. Bye.